Collins sat in his brand new Range Rover, stuck in Lagos traffic on the third mainland bridge. He scrolled through his phone, looking at pictures of himself in expensive clubs, surrounded by beautiful girls. Just 3 years ago, he was sleeping on his cousin's floor in Mushin, struggling to pay for transport fare to job interviews that never led anywhere. Now, look at him. Money was no longer a problem. But he remembered that desperate night clearly. The night he met Baba Alakara in that dark shrine in Badagry. The old man's words still echoed in his mind. You will have wealth beyond your dreams, but there are rules. Sleep with as many women as you want, but never ever fall in love. Use this white handkerchief to clean yourself after every encounter. The handkerchief transfers their star, their destiny, into wealth for you. Break the rule, and everything collapses. Collins had agreed without thinking twice. What was love compared to money? He had watched his mother suffer in poverty, watched his father drink himself to death because he couldn't provide for his family. Love didn't pay bills. Money did. Now, 3 years later, Collins was living large. He had a duplex in Lekki, 3 cars, and his own importation business that served as a front for his real source of wealth. Every Friday night, he was at one club or another, Quilox, Club 57, or DNA. He always left with a girl, sometimes 2. His phone rang. It was Emeka, his childhood friend from their Mushin days. Guy, I don't see you for Instagram again, Emeka said. Another girl, another club. Collins, when you go settle down, when you go find one good woman marry. Emeka, a beg leave matter for Matthias. Collins laughed. Marriage is scam. I dey enjoy my life. But something no just add up with you these days. Emeka pressed. You don change. You no dey even check on your mama again. The other day I see her. She dey complain. Say you don forget where you come from. Collins felt a sharp pain in his chest, but he pushed it away. I go call her. Business just dey occupy me now. Okay. Just remember, say money no be everything. Collins ended the call and kissed his teeth. Emeka didn't understand. None of them understood. He had power now. He had everything he ever wanted. That night, Friday night, Collins went to Escape nightclub in Victoria Island. The music was loud, the drinks were flowing, and the girls were everywhere. He was in the VIP section, popping bottles of Ace of Spades, when he saw her. She walked in like she owned the place. Tall, almost 6 feet in heels. Her body was shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle, curves in all the right places. Her skin was smooth and dark, her lips full and glossy. But it wasn't just her body. She carried herself with confidence, like she knew every man in the room was watching her. Collins sent a waiter to bring her to his section. She came, smiling, her perfume filling the air around them. I'm Collins, he said, extending his hand. Jane, she replied, her voice soft but firm. They talked for hours. She told him she was from Benin City but lived in Lagos, working in real estate. She was funny, smart, and unlike the other girls, she wasn't impressed by his money. She seemed to have her own. Make we go my place, Collins suggested around 2 a.m. We fit continue the gist there. Jane smiled. Sure, but I get rule, Shaw. I know they do anything on first night. If you fit, wait. We go see wetin go happen. Collins was surprised. Girls never said no to him. Never. But something about Jane made him want to pursue her. He took her number and dropped her off at her place in Aja. When he got home, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about her. But he shook it off. She was just another girl. Another star to collect. What Collins didn't know was that as soon as Jane entered her apartment, she called her father in Benin. Papa, I don't see another one, she said in Edo language. But this one different. He gets strong juju around Am, very strong. Her father, Chief Osunde, was quiet for a moment. My daughter, you don't do this thing 15 times. Each time, you collect their glory, their destiny, and it make our family strong. But this one, If he get protection, we must be careful. I fit, handle Papa. Come home. Make I cook you special. This one need extra power. Jane smiled. She had been doing this since she was 21. She was now 27. Her father had taught her the ways. Sleep with men who had wealth and destiny. Take everything from them and transfer it to the family shrine. Some of the men went mad. Some died. She didn't care. Her father was now one of the most powerful native doctors in Edo State, and she lived in luxury. The next morning, she took a bus to Benin City. Her father's compound was large, with a big shrine at the back. Inside the shrine were strange objects. Bottles filled with dark liquids, animal skulls, and red cloth everywhere. Chief Osunde prepared her. He gave her a special soap to bathe with. He made marks on her body with white chalk. He gave her a small black stone to keep in her private area during the act. This Collins, his juju strong pass anything I don't see, Chief Osunde said. But I don't give you something way go overpower am. After you sleep with am, everything he get go come to you. But make sure say you no fall in love with am. You hear me? Yes, Papa. I serious, Jane. The juju I give you get condition too. If you fall in love with the person, everything go reverse. You go lose everything. Jane laughed. Papa, you know me. I no fit fall in love. My heart hard like stone. She returned to Lagos 3 days later and called Collins. I don't miss you, Shah, she lied sweetly. Collins was excited. Come my house today. I want see you. That evening, Jane came to his house dressed to kill. She wore a tight red dress that showed all her curves. Her perfume was intoxicating. She brought gifts, an expensive Rolex watch and a bottle of Tom Ford perfume. Ah, you too much, Collins said, genuinely surprised. No girl had ever bought him gifts. They talked, drank wine, and when the moment came, they moved to his bedroom. Collins was excited. This was it. Another star to collect. Another bag of money to appear in his wardrobe tomorrow. But Jane stopped him, just as he was about to start. Wait, I never really ready, she said, touching his chest. Make we take slow. I like you, and I know one rush am. Collins was frustrated, but he respected her wish. She left that night, leaving him wanting more. This went on for 2 weeks. Every time Collins thought they would finally do it, Jane found a way to delay. She was playing with his mind, and it was working. He found himself thinking about her during the day. He canceled plans with other girls just to spend time with her. Finally, on their 5th meeting at his house, Jane agreed. Collins was overjoyed. He ran to his wardrobe, where he kept the white handkerchief hidden in a secret compartment. His hands were shaking with excitement. They made love, and immediately after, while Jane pretended to be asleep, Collins used the white handkerchief to clean himself. He did it carefully, just as Baba Alakara had instructed. The handkerchief absorbed everything. Jane left an hour later, hugging him at the door. I really like you, Collins. You different from other guys. Collins smiled. Yeah. I go call you. As soon as she left, he locked his door and waited. By morning, the money would appear in his wardrobe. That's how it always worked. Jane, on the other hand, went home and sat in her shrine room, a small space in her apartment dedicated to her father's gods. She waited for the spirit that always came to confirm that the transfer was complete. The spirit would appear as a shadow and whisper, "It is done." She waited and waited. Midnight passed. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., nothing. Panicking, she called her father at 3 a.m. Papa, never work. Nothing don't happen. There was a long silence on the other end. Then her father spoke, his voice heavy with sadness and fear. Jane, I don't try to reach the gods since midnight. They tell me, say the juju him carry strong pass anything I fit do. It get condition way they protect am well. If he no fall in love, nothing fit touch am. Weten I go do now, papa? I don use the charm on am. Suppose reverse on me? No, I don beg the gods already. I sacrifice 3 goats and 1 cow tonight. They agree, say nothing go happen to you, but you must revenge, make am fall in love with you. The moment he fall in love, him protection go break. Then everything he get go commode. Jane's eyes brightened with anger and determination. I go do papa, I swear. The next morning, Collins woke up and rushed to his wardrobe. He opened the secret compartment, and there it was, a Ghana must-go bag filled with fresh Naira notes. Bundles and bundles of new 1,000 Naira notes. Yes, 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 he shouted, jumping around his room like a madman. It worked, work! He called his guy, who helped him change the money into dollars, and moved it through his business accounts. Everything was perfect. Collins tried to forget about Jane. That was his pattern. Sleep with them, collect their star, and move on. He didn't call her for 3 days. But Jane wasn't giving up. She sent him a text message. I really enjoyed the other night. You were amazing. I can't stop thinking about you. I sent something to your house. 20 minutes later, a dispatch rider came with a package. Inside was a gold chain, a designer shirt, and a bottle of his favorite cognac. Collins was impressed. No girl had ever done this. He called her. Baby, you too much oh. Thank you. So when I go see you again? Jane asked sweetly. Come tonight. Jane came that night with a bag of groceries. I wan cook for you. I don tire of all these your takeout food. She cooked jollof rice, fried plantain, and grilled chicken. The food was so good that Collins ate until his stomach was full. They watched a movie, laughed, and talked about everything. For the first time in 3 years, Collins felt comfortable. Not like he was performing, not like he was hunting, just comfortable. Jane came back the next day, and the day after, and the day after that. Each time, she brought something: food, gifts, her warm presence. She listened when he talked. She laughed at his jokes. She gave him advice on his business. Collins found himself canceling plans with other girls. When they called, he told them he was busy. For the first time in 3 years, the white handkerchief stayed in the wardrobe, unused. Emeka noticed the change. Guy, you donde behave like person way dey in love. Who be this babe way you dey always talk about? Her name na Jane, Collins said, smiling without realizing it. She just different, you know? I happy say you don find person way fit, settle you down. But make sure say the babe legit oh. You know say, Lagos babes fit package. Collins laughed it off, but deep down, he was falling. He was breaking the one rule he was never supposed to break. After 3 weeks of constant visits, Jane suddenly disappeared. She stopped picking his calls. She didn't reply to his messages. Collins was confused and, for the first time, hurt. He drove to her apartment in Aja, but she wasn't there. He asked her neighbors, but they said they hadn't seen her in days. He was going crazy. Where was she? Was she with another man? The thought made him angry and jealous, emotions he had never felt before. After 1 week of searching, he finally found her address through a mutual friend from the club. He drove there immediately, his heart pounding. Jane opened the door, looking surprised. Collins? Wetin you dey do here? Why you no dey pick my call? Why you dey avoid me? Jane looked away. I just need space. Things dey move too fast. Collins pushed his way into her apartment. Space? After everything? Jane, I really like you. I never feel like this for any babe before. Jane saw the pain in his eyes. And for a moment, she felt something she had never felt before. Guilt. But she pushed it away. She had a mission. You like me? She asked softly, moving closer to him. I know no wedding you do to me, but I dey think about you every time. I no fit even look other babes again. Jane smiled and kissed him. I like you too, Collins. Make we try be together, like real relationship. Collins pulled her close, and they made love right there in her living room. But this time, there was no white handkerchief. There was no calculation. There was just Collins and Jane, lost in each other. Afterwards, as Collins lay on her couch, breathing heavily, he whispered, I think say I dey fall in love with you. Jane's heart skipped, not from joy, but from victory. She had done it. After Collins left that evening, promising to come back the next day, Jane called her father. Papa, he don't happen. He don't fall in love with me. He tell me with him own mouth. Chief Osunde laughed on the other end. My daughter, you don't do well. From tonight, everything he get, go start to day komot. Give am 1 month, he go day beg for road. They celebrated over the phone, but after Jane ended the call, she sat in silence. Why wasn't she as happy as she should be? Why did she feel this strange heaviness in her chest? The change started small. 2 days after Collins confessed his love, one of his biggest clients, a Lebanese man who imported goods worth millions, called to say he was canceling their contract. No explanation, just canceled. Collins was confused but not worried. He had other clients. But then the next week, his car caught fire while he was driving on Lekki Epe Expressway. He barely escaped. The fire service said it was an electrical fault. But Collins knew better. Something was wrong. His other clients started canceling. People he had scammed in his Yahoo days started finding him. One man showed up at his office with police, claiming Collins owed him 5 million naira from a fake deal 3 years ago. Collins had to pay to avoid arrest. Money was flying out of his accounts. His business was collapsing. Every morning, he woke up to a new disaster. Meanwhile, Jane was becoming richer. Contracts she didn't apply for came to her. Her real estate business was booming. Money was entering her account from nowhere. One morning, she woke up to find 10 million naira in her bank account, with the description, transfer from spiritual source. She called her father, excited. Papa, dey work. Money just dey enter my account anyhow. Good, my daughter. Na him glory you collect. Enjoy am. But Jane wasn't enjoying it. Every time she saw Collins, he looked more and more stressed. His eyes had dark circles. He was losing weight. He was always on the phone, trying to solve one problem or another. One evening, Collins came to her apartment looking defeated. He sat on her couch and put his face in his hands. Jane, I know no wetin dey happen. Everything dey fall apart. My business, my money, everything. E be like, say something dey follow me. Jane felt her heart break. She sat beside him and held his hand. Everything go day all right. I dey here for you. Collins looked at her, his eyes wet. You be the only good thing way remain for my life. I love you, Jane. I swear. Those words hit Jane like a thunderbolt. He loved her, really loved her. And she was destroying him. That night, after Collins left, Jane couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned, thinking about everything. She thought about the 15 men before Collins, men who had lost everything because of her. Some had gone mad. Some had died. She had never cared before. They were just marks, just sources of power. But Collins was different. He made her laugh. He listened to her. He cared about her opinions. When she was with him, she felt seen, felt valued. Not as a tool, not as a weapon, but as a person. She realized something that terrified her. She had feelings for him. Real feelings. The next morning, she called her father. Papa, I need to stop this thing. There was silence on the other end. Then Chief Osunde spoke, his voice cold. Wetin you mean? I get feelings for Collins. I no fit continue like this. Jane, you don't tell me say you no fit fall in love. You swear for the gods. But Papa, I love Am. For the first time in my life I love somebody. Please, I won't stop. Chief Osunde was quiet for a long time. Then he sighed. If na your decision, I no fit stop you. But you go lose everything. All the power, all the money, everything way you get from those men, including Collins, go disappear. You go start from scratch. And you go lose your gift. You no go fit do this thing again. I ready, Papa? I just want do the right thing. Her father was silent. Then he said softly, You be my daughter. If this Nawetan go make you happy, I go support you. Come home. Make we reverse everything. Jane went to Benin that same day. Her father performed a long ritual that lasted all night. He broke the connection between Jane and all the men she had taken from. He returned their destinies, their glory, although most of them would never fully recover. When morning came, Jane felt different. Lighter. Free. She returned to Lagos and called Collins. I need to see you. I need to tell you something. They met at a small restaurant in Ikeja. Jane was nervous. She didn't know how Collins would react. Collins, I need to tell you the truth about who I be. And wetin I don do. Collins looked confused. Wetin you dey talk about? Jane took a deep breath and told him everything. About her father. About the juju. About the 16 men, including him. About how she was supposed to destroy him but fell in love instead. About how she had just reversed everything. Collins sat in shock, his mouth open. He couldn't speak. He just stared at her. I understand if you hate me, Jane said, tears rolling down her face. But I need you to know, say I truly love you. I ready to start over with you. Fresh. No juju, no manipulation, just me and you. Collins stood up and walked away without saying a word. Jane sat there crying, thinking she had lost him forever. For 2 weeks, Collins didn't call Jane. He was processing everything. He had visited Baba Alakara and ended their deal, burning the white handkerchief in front of the old man. Baba Alakara had warned him that he would lose everything he gained from the juju, and Collins accepted it. He sold his cars, sold his house in Lekki, and moved to a small flat in Surulere. He was starting over. One evening, Emeka came to visit him. Guy, I hear wetin happen. You good? Collins nodded. I dey okay. For the first time in years I fit sleep at night. I no dey worry about who I don hurt, or wetin go happen if I fall in love. I free, bro. And the babe, Jane? Collins sighed. I no. Part of me vex, say she try use me. But another part understand. Say she bende lost like me. We both bende use people for our own gain. So wetin you go do? I go think am. 3 days later, Collins showed up at Jane's apartment. She opened the door, surprised. Collins? I think about everything, he said. And I realize, say I no different from you. I been to use people too. I been to destroy people life for money. We both been to wrong. But if you truly ready to change, I ready to try again. But we go start from beginning. No lies, no juju, just honest life. Jane hugged him, crying, I ready. I swear, I ready. They started a small business together, a food delivery service. Jane cooked, and Collins handled the business side. It wasn't much, but it was honest money. They worked hard every day. Collins also used the last money he got from selling his properties to start a small importation business. This time, everything was legit. No scamming, no fraud, just honest business. It was hard at first. They struggled to pay bills. They ate rice and stew every day for weeks, but they had each other, and for the first time in their lives, they had peace. Emeka visited them often, proud of his friend's transformation. You see? Emeka said one day. I been dey tell you say, money no be everything. Collins laughed. You right, bro. You been right all along. Jane's father, Chief Osunde, also changed. He closed his shrine and started using his knowledge to help people legitimately, making herbal medicines and counseling people. He visited Lagos once to see Jane and Collins. "I proud of you, my daughter," he said. "You teach me say never too late to change." 1 year later, Collins's importation business was growing. Not fast, but steady. They moved to a better apartment, not in Lekki, but decent enough. They were happy. One evening, as they sat in their living room watching TV, there was a knock on the door. Collins opened it to find a young man, maybe 22 years old, dressed in expensive clothes with gold chains around his neck. "I dey look for Collins," the young man said arrogantly. "I be Collins. Wetin you want?" "My name Natunde. I dey hear say you sabi how to make money fast. My guy tell me say you been get connect with one baba. I need that connect. I don tire of being poor." Collins looked at the young man and saw himself 3 years ago, desperate, greedy, blind to the consequences. He invited Tunde inside and sat him down. Jane sat beside Collins. "You want hear story?" Collins asked. "I want hear how to make money," Tunde replied impatiently. "Just listen," Collins said firmly. For the next hour, Collins and Jane told Tunde everything. They told him about the juju, the money, the destruction, and the price they paid. They showed him their scars, their regrets, their pain. "You think say quick money go solve your problem," Collins said. "But I dey tell you, that money go destroy you. Go take your soul, your peace, your humanity. And when everything collapse, you go realize, say the money never worth am." Tunde listened, and for the first time that evening, his arrogance faded. He looked like what he really was, a scared young man looking for an escape from poverty. "So wetin I suppose do?" Tunde asked quietly. "Find honest work," Jane said. No easy. Go take time. But you go fit sleep at night. You go fit look yourself for mirror. And when you finally make you go no say you deserve am." Tunde was quiet for a long time. Then he stood up and shook Collins' hand. "Thank you. I go think about wetin talk." After he left, Jane turned to Collins. "You think say he go listen?" Collins shrugged. "I no know. But at least we try. We tell him the truth. Na him go decide, wetin him want do." They went to bed that night, holding each other close. Outside their window, Lagos continued its endless hustle. But inside their small apartment, there was peace. Hard-earned peace. Collins thought about his journey, from poverty to fraudulent wealth, from exploitation to love, from destruction to redemption. It had been a painful road, but he was grateful for it. It had taught him what truly mattered. As he drifted off to sleep, Jane's hand in his, he smiled. They didn't have millions in the bank. They didn't have luxury cars or mansions. But they had something more valuable. They had freedom. Freedom from guilt, from fear, from the darkness that had once consumed them both. And that, Collins realized, was the greatest wealth of all. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you love our stories. Thank you.